Have you ever heard that Niccolò Machiavelli is the master of manipulation? That he taught people to do whatever it takes to gain and keep power? This reputation has followed his name for centuries, but is that all there is to it? What if I told you that behind this image lies a powerful manual that can help you lead better, make smarter decisions, and even improve your personal life? Stick with me until the end of this video, because I am going to reveal the secrets of the prince that no one ever told you, and show you how to apply all of this in your daily life, whether at work, in business, or in your personal relationships. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because what's coming next might just change the way you think about leadership forever. Let us start at the beginning. The Prince is a book written over 500 years ago in the 16th century by Niccolò Machiavelli, an Italian diplomat and philosopher. He wrote this work to help rulers understand how to gain and maintain power in difficult and turbulent times. But here's the secret: Machiavelli's lessons aren't just for kings, presidents, or politicians. They're for you, for me, for anyone who wants to lead their own life, make strategic decisions, and face challenges with intelligence. Machiavelli wasn't a dreamer or an idealist. He was a cold, realistic observer of power and human nature. That's why his ideas remain relevant even after so many centuries. You've probably heard the phrase, "the end justifies the means," and associated it with Machiavelli, right? This is the most famous idea linked to his name, but he never actually wrote it exactly like that. What he meant is that to keep power and ensure stability, a leader might need to make tough decisions that aren't always morally perfect. In today's world, you can see this in situations like a boss who needs to cut costs to save the company, even if it upsets some people. Or an entrepreneur who has to give up a personal project to focus on what really brings results. But be careful, this isn't a license to act unethically or unfairly. It's an invitation to understand that leadership requires courage to face real dilemmas and make difficult choices, always with responsibility. For example, imagine a manager who has to lay off part of the team to prevent the company from going bankrupt. That's a hard decision, but it can save jobs in the long run. This is the kind of situation Machiavelli describes. Machiavelli talks about two forces that shape a leader's destiny: virtù and fortuna. Virtù is skill, courage, intelligence, and the ability to act strategically. Fortuna is luck, chance, and external circumstances beyond our control. Think of an entrepreneur who plans everything carefully but suddenly faces an economic crisis or a pandemic. Virtù is their ability to adapt, act quickly, and turn the game around despite the unexpected. A practical example: during the 2020 pandemic, many businesses closed, but others reinvented themselves. Restaurants started offering delivery. Gyms moved to online classes. Professionals learned new skills to stay relevant. The lesson is clear. You can't control everything, but you can develop your virtù to better handle fortuna. Preparation, resilience, and creativity are your weapons to win. Machiavelli knew that often perception is more powerful than reality. A leader must appear strong, just, and trustworthy, even if sometimes they need to act firmly or make unpopular decisions. Today, this is even more true. Your image on social media, at work, and in personal relationships can open or close doors. Taking care of your reputation is taking care of your greatest asset. For example, a professional who maintains a positive and consistent presence on LinkedIn might get invited to opportunities they never imagined. Meanwhile, someone who posts controversial or negative content might push away partners and clients. The tip is, be authentic, but aware of what you're communicating. Think of your image as a personal brand you build every day. Machiavelli said a leader should be like a lion to scare off enemies and like a fox to avoid traps. This means knowing when to use strength and when to be flexible. In your daily life, This can apply to leading teams, managing conflicts, or even personal negotiations. Knowing how to set limits and rules is important, but so is listening, negotiating, and adapting when necessary. For example, a manager who demands discipline and results, but also listens to the team's difficulties and looks for joint solutions, tends to be more successful than one who only gives orders. The art of leadership lies in balancing authority and empathy. Now that you know the main themes of The Prince, let's think about how to apply these ideas in the 21st century in your daily life. At work, be brave enough to make tough decisions, but always with strategy and responsibility. Don't be afraid to face dilemmas, but also know how to listen and adapt. In your personal image, take care of your reputation as a valuable asset. Be authentic, but aware of the impact your words and actions have on social media and in professional environments. In business, prepare for the unexpected. Develop your virtù to deal with fortuna. Be resilient, creative, and proactive. In politics and citizenship, understand the game of power to participate better. This doesn't mean being manipulative, but being informed, voting consciously, and engaging in causes that matter to you. These are practical ways to use Machiavelli to grow and win in life today. Before we finish, let's clear up some myths about Machiavelli. He is not the father of evil or a defender of tyranny. He wrote in a very specific historical context when Italy was fragmented and full of conflicts. His goal was to show how a leader could bring order and stability. Also, his ideas are not an invitation to act without ethics. On the contrary, he values prudence, intelligence, and responsibility. Understanding the context and interpreting his ideas carefully is essential to get the best out of what he has to offer. So, what can we learn from Machiavelli today? That leadership is about courage, strategy, preparation, and also about taking care of the image we project. That the world is complex and demands tough decisions, but we can act with intelligence and ethics. And you, how can you be a prince in your life? What tough decision are you postponing? What image do you want to build? What luck can you prepare to receive? Leave your comment down below. I really want to hear your thoughts. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content that will transform the way you think. See you next time.